Hi there! It's time to look at Vechain through the Wyckoff lens. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items that I'll cover during the session. So let's start off with the weekly chart of Vechain. Here we're seeing, finally, a more solid white candle after a long leg downwards. So it has been a period of very challenging or frustrating experience, but we may be near the end of the tunnel. Alright? While this can be a pretty low test to check out, the remaining supply. That's what the big guys, the composite men or the whales, are hoping for. To get, the stock in the weaker hands or from the weaker hands before their mega plan comes. Alright? Assuming crypto is going to stay, which many people believe they will. And for good projects, they will last through these kind of turbulent periods, and eventually they will thrive. So let's see where Vechain can be testing northbound. When we get to the daily chart, we'll be able to see more. But for now, let's look at the big picture. So if this is really the start of a recovery, in the terms that many people like to use, if we look at the previous trading range where the selling climax was and the automatic rally was, it's basically between the 0.018 all the way to as high as the yellow key level of 0.035. I'm going to enlarge these tags going forward. For now, please bear with me for one more week. After today's session, I'll go back and edit them so it'll be easier for you to read. So it will look something like this. I'll max out in the weekly chart. So in the daily, I won't be able to do that because things happen just too frequently and all the text will jam together. But in the weekly, we've got the space. So if you're watching on a smaller screen, that should work better for you. Alright? Let me know in the comment, whether that's the case. These are way better than the original tags. So back to the analysis here. We've talked about that a climb may be coming, and today may be the beginning, or this week may be the beginning of it. But be really cautious, because the big guys know, what we're waiting for, what we're hoping for, and they are not afraid to shake us one more time. Okay, remember, look at what happened on the October 10th. That particular week, it went all the way to the 0.0096, almost like 1 cent level. Okay, that's if we look across, that's the level that November 20th went to. So be really careful if you're really trying to get in now. If it shakes count, it's expected. Okay, so let's get to the daily. Obviously, the very pessimistic scenario is that some people are saying this coin or that coin is going to get to 0. Yeah, there may be a chance, but that kind of thinking or saying is always there. If you are following the news of your project and there's no shady stuff or fishy stuff going on, and it's still partnering with trusted merchants, then that project may have a better chance to survive. Okay, it's all about adoption and usage. So here, these 4 white candlesticks is providing some sort of comfort, but actually even before that, looking at these long wicks from the bottom shows sign, not this one, not before November 19th, starting from November 20th, last Thursday. We see these, people trying to push the price down or, continue this panic sell. Some people are getting in right there. However, on Sunday, as well as right now, you're seeing there's still people trying to sell from this level of around 1 cent 40. When it gets close to the red key level. We have to observe closely whether that will continue. Because the volume yesterday, even though the white candlestick is has a long body. The volume was pretty low. It was one of the lowest across the past 2 weeks. Okay, so it's at the low end, so it's not a very good sign. While the one on Sunday, it's like there was quite a bit of selling. So the battle is still around this yellow dash line of around 1 cent 30. That was where the selling climax was. Okay, the battle is still around this level. So if the price continues to see it changes so quickly, if the price continues to change or trade sideways between this yellow dash line and this red key level, it's not something surprising. Okay, what I'm hoping to see is for this buying trend, this volume continue to increase or at least get to the level similar to what we had on Saturday. Then when that happens, that's around 7 million in terms of trading volume, it will eventually get past the red key level. And when it gets to this triangle, it's going to get to a breakout point, decision point. Okay, this is pointing towards somewhere near Christmas. And if breakout happens by then, okay, it's going to break outside of this downtrend that started sometime in mid-October. That's a declaration of finishing of this downtrend, this pessimistic period, okay? If it doesn't, if it continues to try to test our patience, what we would see is potentially, if I extend this line to, let's say, 350, let's see how far it goes. Yeah, that's good enough. So potentially it would turn into a horizontal trend. Okay, that's more neutral position or more neutral view. So I shared a positive view, okay, that it goes outside of this trend, challenge these intermediate levels, 0.018, and maybe go as high as 0.026. That's where the orange key level is, to show us a sign of strength. And the neutral scenario of more sideways tests. And finally, I also shared the pessimistic view, whether it's bouncing off from this center line because of the weak buying volume, this white volume. Remember the center line of this hockey table, air hockey table, okay? Or it comes to the ceiling and bounces off from there. That's the pessimistic scenario where the downtrend continues. If you're new to my sessions, when you hear me say air hockey table, I was referring to this light blue box, or these light blue boxes. So if you look at the price actions, it's basically like the air hockey. Imagine you're playing air hockey. That puck bounces off the boundaries. You see including the wakes, it's like the trail of the puck. Sometimes it bounces around the center line as well. So 3 lines instead of just the edges of the table. Okay, until the point that the market moves it to another table. Then the trend changes and we have to draw new ones. Alright, so for Vechain, I hope this is near the end of the bottom seeking journey and we start to see some form of test towards the north. So if it really is positive, like I said, it can come up to challenge as high as or even higher than the yellow key level of 0.035. So let me know, if enlarging these tags and actually it's tax and tax, okay? You consider them taxes. Okay, tax. If enlarging them works better for you compared to the old ones, let me know in the comment, please. So thanks for joining me in today's Vechain session.